Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with something a little bit different than, I guess the standard, OU Live or 7th Gen Live that I've been doing. I decided that I want to ladder in 4th Gen OU, though a lot of people are not. I'm actually going to start searching for a battle while I'm talking. But a lot of people aren't really playing this tier right now, at least on the ladder. And I encourage you to play this tier. This is my favorite tier of all time, which is why I really wanted to record it. I'm actually going to see if I can leave a bunch of teams in the description, just because I want people to be playing this tier. This is, again, my favorite generation and tier. Well, my favorite generation game is Gen 2 Gold, but my favorite tier to play, my favorite generation to play is definitely 4th Gen OU, DPP OU. I love this. I never, ever grew tired of 4th Gen OU, and the only reason that I stopped playing, and I never really truly stopped playing, but the only reason that I didn't play it as much as I used to is because Black and White came out and a lot of people switched to 5th Gen. They all went on PO. PO had some clean graphics back in the day. Of course, when you compare them to Showdown now, it was like, oh my god, how could we ever play it on PO? But I mean, we also played on Shoddy Battle, which was literally pictures on the screne and then just walls and walls and walls of text, which I also love. But I always have loved Diamond and Pearl OU, Diamond Pearl Platinum OU, 4th Gen OU, and it really is like, I feel like it's my main tier. I know so much about, and it's just from years and years of experience, but I know so much about the tier itself, and I'm hoping that we can, find a battle in this tier. I kind of doubt we will be able to. Looks like there's 2 people playing, and they're both playing each other. I could potentially ask for people to find me, but I don't even know if that works because I'm not on my main account. I just wanted to have just a fresh, account to play this on. But what I'll probably end up doing is just pausing it, guys, until I eventually find a battle. But like I said, the point of this video is not only for me to enjoy playing this tier, but also mainly because I want to play DPP. I want to play DPP. And hopefully you guys do too. So like I said, I'll be leaving a lot of teams in the description, and I'm going to pause it until we find a battle. We'll be right back. Alright guys, so we found a battle. Now I see an Electro lead. Automatically I'm thinking Rain, which is a little bit bad to say the least, because I don't have too much to Rain. I do have my Milotic, which can take on Rain Mons, but I'm also offensive Milotic. I'm going to switch out into my Heatran though. The thing about Rain is it could also pack Doug Trio, because Doug Trio traps Tyranitar, so it's very scary for me to do that. I'll make the Flygon play. I'm gonna make my Flygon play because I bluffed the Scarf, and what I actually am gonna do is double out into my Skarmory, trying to see what his initial switch in to Flygon is as he sits with the Rain. All right, well that's great. We're gonna go right back on the Flygon. He shouldn't explode this turn. He should go for Thunder first. Yep. And expecting him to want to explode, I'm gonna double back on my Rotom. It's unfortunate that he decides to stay in, especially because Flygon could have been Choice Scarf. And now he's going for Taunt, interestingly enough. We'll just throw off Hydro Pump. This Rain boosted. Though it does allow Kingdra and Quillfish and Ludicolo to come in. Second thought, I think Shadow Ball is the better play, as I'm saying it. I'm surprised it didn't boom with his Electro. But like I said, automatically clicked that it was Rain. More than likely packing the Damp Rock as well, which is why I was surprised that he stayed in on Flygon, especially because Scarf Flygon is faster than Electron. I'm pretty sure Scarf Flygon hits 493 speed, something like that. I remember that speed specifically whenever I use Scarf Roach. It's 492, excuse me. But I remember that speed specifically when using Flygon. So Shadow Ball should be a no drawback play unless he brings in. To be honest, I kind of want a Thunderbolt, but unless he brings in like Scizor. But even then, Scizor on Rain teams would run Rain as itself. Probably U-turn. I don't think run Pursuit. Yeah, Bronzong is also another switch in that he could bring in, but this does give me hazard. I get an unfortunate crit on my opponent, and I can go right out into Skarmory and just start spiking up, and well, Stealth Rocket, spiking up versus my opponent, while also wasting Rain turns. And the great thing about that crit is now when Bronzong, it can't come in anymore on me, and I know it's also running, or more than likely running the Damp Rock. So I should be able to spike up right here. Flygon is going to go to work. It's going to go to town once I get rid of Electrode and Bronzong. I know his last few are Rain Abusers. I'm expecting one to come out right now. Unfortunately, like I said, I do not have a Tyranitar on this team, though most teams do have Tyranitar. Unfortunately, I do not have it, so I expect him to switch out into maybe a Kingdra. I don't think Electro would come back in because that is your Rain setter, and though it does go for Thunder, I've already shown that Flygon was my initial switch in, so I would think that you would go hard into a Rain Abuser right now. Not Ludicolo because Brave Bird is an option. I think Kingdra would come out right now. And Polion if he has it. Maybe Quillfish, but Quillfish is usually physical. I'm definitely thinking Kingdra. Definitely thinking Kingdra could come out right now. But he only has 3 more turns of rain. So we're looking good. There's the Kingdra. Yep. Tough turn, tough turn, tough turn. I don't want to go directly into my look, but I do want to get up rocks with my Heatran. Lucario is also very solid. Just having priority in general. This is great too if he has a Scizor. I don't want to go Heatran just in case that could be an option. I was whirling him out. He's going to go for Hydro Pump anyway and knock me out. But I didn't want to go directly into my Lodic because Hydro Pump into Draco Meter would be able to knock me out. And my opponent can now drop a Draco. I'll recover off the damage and then fire off an offensive Hydro Pump, hitting Electrode. Also, the Life Orb damage is just so good versus my opponent. I want to see how much Draco Meter does as well. God, it did 60%. Alright, so this does give me the recover. Now, I don't necessarily want to go for... Actually, yeah, I'm just going for Hydro Pump, whatever. You're going Electrode anyway, or Bronzong, that's even better, because this is going to be a KO with HP Electric, so that's amazing. I got back 2 turns of Leftover's recovery, and one of his Rain Setters is gone, and it's Bronzong too. It was the one that was in the air, so this is great for me. Electrode's going to come out. Do you not have Boom on this guy? We're going to go Heatran as opposed to going out into Flygon, because I can stall out a turn by going for Lava Plume. I expect him to go for Taunt here. I would expect Taunt, though if he doesn't go for Taunt and I do Lava Plume, burn the Kingdra, that's great. Also, the fact that I'm maxed with Def, I don't care too much about this Mon at all. I do want to get up my... I do want to go for Toxic, though, just in case he does go Kingdra. That'd be nice. I'm really surprised he's staying in with Electrode, but again, his Rain Setter being gone is great. Why are you staying in? Do you have Dugtrio? Oh, he boomed on me. Alright, so a few turns gone. Let's see if we can get up our Stealth Rock. We are able to get them up. I don't know if my opponent has Starmie, but it's not as threatening with full hazards up and having Lucario's Extreme Speed in the back. If my opponent does have Dugtrio, I think that's just a waste of a turn. I think you should go hard Kingdra here or one of your Rain Abusers. Going Dugtrio to trap me, especially because he does have Electrode, I don't think he does have Dugtrio. One mon I am scared of is Raikou, which is why I'm keeping Flygon plus Rotom's Trick at bay. Raikou is extremely threatening, especially on the rain. There's Kabutops, the Rapid Spinner. Would you spin first? I'm going to go for Toxic. I'm definitely going for a nice little Toxic right here. I'm praying we actually break through this. We actually did now. Nice. What I was hoping is that I weaken him to the point of Lucario's Bullet Punch, and it looks like I'm going to be able to. I'm going to go for a Double Protector, attempt to go for one. But Waterfall plus Poison damage looks like it's putting it in range of Lucario. The thing is, he could definitely have Aqua Jet, but I'm not sure if Rapid Spin is his last move. So we're going to go for Bullet Punch here. He does have Aqua Jet, unfortunately, as his last. However, it is a double down, and Flygon is just looking... Choice Band Flygon is so good. Losing Lucario sucks, definitely, especially because if my opponent has like a Last Mon... especially if my opponent has a Last Mon... maybe Scizor or something like that, but I don't know. Looks like Flygon's just set to sweep. Kinger's in range. Quillfish died. He reveals a Quillfish. I'm assuming it might be Ludicolo. Huh. I'm actually going to Dragon Claw because I'm scared of a Last Mon Ludicolo. That could beat me 1v1. It's Choice Band Dragon Claw, so I should be able to knock out Quillfish. Kingdra will go down as well. I would go for Outrage, but I'm pretty sure it's a Last Mon Ludicolo. So that's why Dragon Claw is the better play. This also prevents something like Dragonite from setting up, though I do have Scarf Rotom in the back. But yep, it is a Last Mon Ludicolo, just based on the makeup of his team. Let's see if we can knock this guy out. With the Choice Band Dragon Claw, we do. So I'm glad I called my play or looked back on my play. Yep. Good game. So Flygon definitely able to put in work at the end game, which is why I saved it. I'm completely fine with how I played versus Kabutops. Getting off the Toxic was key. I think my opponent should have prioritized just straight up attacking me. It was already revealed that he had a rain team, and it was actually a full-on rain team, very similar to like those variants you see in the lower tiers. But he should have definitely prioritized just straight up attacking me. And if he had a spin on Kabutops, he could have used it later, because then Flygon was just able to come through. But yeah, I think I'm going to start looking for another battle, but I'm going to pause it, guys, until we find one. We'll be right back. Alright, so after waiting a long time, I finally found, I finally found a game. Now, my opponent leads Gyarados. I have Skarmory. This could be Taunt Dragon Dance Gyarados. This could be Choice Band Gyarados. Either way, my Lodic is always the best play. I resist his attacks, and I do have the, HP Electric. Now, you double out into Togekiss, which leads to believe that you definitely have Fire Blast and or Thunder Wave, all of which can come out now. I want to go Heat Rain anyway, just to get on my rocks to cripple that Gyarados. Doubles out into Breloom, and it's not Poison Heal. I'm not sure what to quite think about this. I'm gonna get on my rocks anyway, because the way my opponent's playing, he's definitely switching around. I have no idea what type of team my opponent has, but I do want to protect here just in case this isn't Scarf Flygon. This could definitely be a Life Orb mix set. Goes for Earthquake. Now, Fire Blast is something that could come out. I don't think Draco Meteor would come out. I'm actually going to make the Flygon play, because I think my opponent, if anything, would go for Fire Blast there. And I'm going to double out into my Skarmory just to scout for the Life Orb. I have no idea what type of Flygon this is. And it also works out because apparently my Skarmory forces out Gyarados. Now I think it might be Lumberry Taunt. Could be banned. We're going to go right back out on my Lodic though. That Stealth Rock damage is really nice. It's a special... What? It's a special Gyarados. Interesting. And he has nothing for offensive Loom. He has absolutely nothing, for offensive my Lodic, because HP Electric into Ice Beam will easily be a KO. I think my opponent might not be the... I guess this could be Scarf Loom. But Scarf Loom is... If you use Scarf Loom, it'd be a lead. You don't use it as a mid-game. Though it would have caught me off guard. But... I guess my opponent might be newer to Diamond and Pearl, and that's why, like I said, there will be a ton of teams linked down below in a pastebin. I do want people to play this tier. I'm going to be doing this new thing every single Thursday. We're just going to call it Throwback Thursday, because that's already a hashtag. And I guess I'll try and look for another game while I'm talking, but if I don't find one by the time I finish talking, then I'll just I'll just link this down below. But Somalia has a thread here, and actually I'm going to link this. Somalia has a thread which talks a lot about Diamond and Pearl. He has a team building video, which apparently is private, but he does have a bunch of sample teams, or a bunch of threats rather. But Somalia does have a bunch of stuff, and I will be giving his DPP archive, but I'll be linking this thread down below. Though he is a banned user, he's a very smart dude, and I do want people to obviously learn Diamond and Pearl. Looks like I'm not going to find a battle, but I do want to know your thoughts on this. And I'm not only doing like Diamond and Pearl or DPP OU on Throwback Thursday. You know, I'll go into RBY, GSC, ADV, 5th Gen, Black and White, of course. It could be any tier or anything, but I do want people to start playing Diamond and Pearl OU, DPP OU. I don't know why I keep playing Diamond and Pearl. It's DPP because it's Diamond Pearl Platinum, but I do want people to play it. And yeah, like I said, everything will be linked down below in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.